by the power of Grayskull.
Welcome to the San Diego Comic-Con International, the world's largest comic book convention. We're here today promoting BCI Eclipse's 10 Best of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe DVD. For 4 days now, we have been here doing panel discussions, costume contests, raffles, autograph signings, and everything else. In this special documentary, you'll get to see behind-the-scenes material about what went on here at the San Diego Comic-Con as we debuted the 10 Best of Masters of the Universe. Here is your chance. You have the power.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe invades the San Diego Comic-Con.
Did you ever watch the show?
I did.
You're too young.
No, well, I was around for the original.
How old are you?
28.
She's 28.
Great.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you. Absolutely. Nice meeting you.
Now, you married?
Yes.
Oh, well, I can't introduce you
Okay.
then.
That's okay, I took his picture.
Actually, later on, I'm going to bring my 1-year-old. The only thing she says is He-Man, He-Man.
That's sick.
We want
I mean, I have it on. As soon as I turn it on, first thing she does, He-Man, He-Man.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Jennifer Rudolph, and I'm from Jackson, Michigan.
Michigan.
Yes.
Did you come out here for just to meet Lou Scheimer or for the con?
I came out here for the whole thing, but this was one of the big reasons, because I'm a major Masters of the Universe fan.
How long have you been a fan?
Since I was born. My brother is older than me, and he actually got me into it. Didn't play with Barbies, I played with He-Man.
Good. Who is your favorite character?
Oh, Skeletor. Oh yeah, he's the best. There's something about the bad guys that are just cooler than the good guys. So he's my favorite.
Good, good. What are you going to tell Lou Scheimer?
Thank you. Pretty much. I love it. Thank you very much. You know, I wish it could have stayed on forever.
I signed between Nan's legs.
You met her mother
There
just a
you
couple
go.
minutes ago.
Yeah, hi, Aaron. How are you? Nice to see you. Yes.
Look at that.
You know, I just want you to know, Lou, that when he was in this world with these characters, it brought him peace and comfort, and I want to thank you both.
I remember.
Hi, my name is Aaron Bruland, and my brother was Mark Bruland, who was a He-Man fan his entire life, as well as me. My brother passed away a year and a half ago of cancer after a 7.5-year battle, and one of the things that kept him going and kept his spirits going was always He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and he would get inspiration from the show and the characters to create his own characters. He was an animator and a comic book artist, and whenever he was fighting his battle or having surgeries, the show and the toys would inspire him, and it gave him peace and comfort. This is actually a picture of his room, which is just a small collection of the many toys that he had. And he would build his own toys from the characters and just create his own characters through the inspiration of the He-Man characters. And it would just give him strength and hope as he fought his battle. And we've been waiting for about 15 years for this DVD to finally be released, and unfortunately he didn't live to see it now. So I am here for him to have it and watch it and pay tribute to him, because he was an incredible person and just one of the bravest people I've ever met, and I was blessed to have him as a brother. So I spoke to Mr. Scheimer yesterday, and he remembered Mark and he remembered me, and he was kind enough to sign a cell for me and Mark, and he was really moved by our story, and I'm very thankful for what he did for us. So I just want the fans to know and appreciate Mark and what he went through, and how we've all been inspired by this show and how much it meant to all of us in our childhood. So thank you to BCI for releasing it, and thank you to Lou Scheimer for giving my brother happiness in his times of struggle. He was a hero. He had the power.
Joey, yes. He's wonderful. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Autograph book full of hundreds of different celebrities. For
I know
Liam,
what he does too,
Liam,
that he meant. I was around for the second season.
and J-A-C-K.
And I did a lot of stuff with you. Okay, there you go.
Golly.
I was Fat Albert's mother.
No, I take it. I take it. They didn't watch the show. You watched the show, right? They watch it now. They watch it now?
Hi, my name is Richard Scott, and I come from Portland, Oregon.
How long have you been a He-Man fan?
Since it came out in 1983.
What's your favorite character?
I would have to say I'm divided between Cringer and Orko, and not for the reasons that people would think. Comedy foils are necessary, and insiders are kind of necessary too. So, you know, it was like they were necessary evils in a sense. So, you know, for that they were great.
I'm Matthew Jeffrey. I'm from Temecula, California.
So who's your favorite character?
Skeletor, definitely Skeletor, yeah. Because he's such an iconic looking character, you know. He's got that skull for a face with a hoodie over it. I really enjoy it. Something about it, I don't know, something about it really appealed to me.
And do you like villains better than heroes?
Usually, I don't know, I like Tordak a great deal. You know, I like Skeletor. There's probably about from the age of 3 to 5, every picture of me, I have a Skeletor action figure in my hand.
Cool, good. Now, I guess Skeletor is actually a part of your life now, right?
Yeah.
Can you show us how?
All right. Well, first of all, I have a license plate that says Skeletor on it for the state of California. I had to drop one of the E's because, you know, it's 8 letters as opposed to 7. But I also have Skeletor tattooed on my back.
All right.
You guys see that?
Hold on, I'm going to lift your shirt up there.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. How old are you now? How old are you now? I'm 33. Right age.
Yeah, the right age. Yeah.
What's your name? Patrick. Patrick, thank you. I think I misspelled my name. That's okay now.
There you go.
Very good.
So what's your names and where are you from?
Go ahead.
Stephanie Sorensen from LA.
Dan Lawson from Hollywood, California.
And how long have you been He-Man fans?
1982, so wow, 23 years.
Since 84.
Long
Great, so
time.
you got into it early.
Yeah,
Yes.
right in the beginning when the figures came out.
Were you fans of the figures or the cartoon or both?
Figures first, cartoon second, that won me over.
Opposite way, cartoon first, figures second.
And your favorite character?
Favorite character? God, that's a good one. Manny Faces, most likely. That'd definitely be Manny Faces. It's like me, 3 personalities in one.
Now, you say you have multiple personalities, so
That's
I
right.
hear He-Man influenced your career.
Yes, that's right. I do voiceover in Hollywood now for animation, and yeah, it was the start of everything for me, imitating He-Man voices.
So can you do a He-Man voice for us?
I can do Skeletor. Let's see how he goes. What would you say? Not yet, He-Man.
Now, does he do these at home?
All the time. He even plays with the characters and does the voices with them. It's true.
All right, good. Thank you. What are you going to tell Lou Scheimer?
That he started my whole career, and I have a lot to thank him for.
My name is Amanda Raymond, and I'm from Studio City, California.
And today you are
I am Frosta
from
She-Ra and He-Man Masters of the Universe.
Wonderful. And who is this beside you? Have you met yet?
Oh my gosh, it's me!
It's my voice!
Oh my gosh! And did you know you were running around here without a voice? I'm Eric Scheimer, and I'm the voice of you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Really an honor.
Mwah. Thank you very much. Bye now. You can have my voice.
My name is Todd Kellinger, and live in New York now, but originally from Virginia.
How long have you been a He-Man fan?
Ever since I saw the first toys in JCPenney's, like summer 1983.
So what was your favorite character?
It was He-Man. It really was. He was a hunk. So.
Do you think that the show...
And Teela, she was a strong woman, and that was nice to see.
Welcome to the Spotlight on Lou Scheimer panel. This is sponsored by Tower Records and BCI Eclipse. BCI Eclipse is the company that is releasing the new He-Man and the Masters of the Universe DVD sets. So immediately to my left is Erica Scheimer, the daughter of Lou Scheimer and a voice actress.
And the luckiest daughter in the world. This guy has a father.
And then Jay Scheimer, the long-suffering wife. And then just to her left is, of course, Lou Scheimer, the tallest man in animation and one of the best.
I'm Jay Scheimer's husband.
Long-suffering husband?
52 years. Only suffered for 2 of those. The last 2.
Lou, did you yourself ever do any voices for He-Man?
Oh gosh, he was all over the place.
Which characters?
I did Orko.
I did Orko.
Thank you.
King Randor. I did any cheap character that wasn't going to be used again. I can't remember which other voices. I did not do any of the sorceresses.
My question is, how would you have reintroduced He-Man to a 21st century audience?
We had done a series called Black Star. It was not terribly successful, but it was a good idea. And I knew what was wrong with it after we'd done the series. Mattel came to us and wanted to know if we would be interested in doing He-Man as a network series. I said, if you allow us to come up with a concept that I feel is appropriate, then I'll try to sell this to a network. We did come up in the concept of Prince Adam, Alter Ego. Well, it's pretty simple. You go back to Shazam, and you got the same kind of relationship. But to have a real hero who didn't have powers as a human, but has some great powers as a superhero, I thought was an interesting idea. To use the morals that I thought was appropriate, and I know was appropriate, and really help make the show.
Lou, is there anything else you want to say to your family? I'm all sitting here in rapture.
What a pleasure it is to see you people. It really is. I was looking forward to this. I was terrified that nobody would show up, and then I was terrified that too many would show up. No, I'm just happy. Thank you very much.
I was going to say, I think they had white tattoo ink.
Anyway, once Phoenix was a beautiful green. With their hopes of what to come, the eye.
All right, look happy.
All right. That is my smile.
That's as good as it gets.
I'll do the usual, I love your work and all that business, but I'm sure you've heard it loads of times.
I can never hear it enough, it's fine.
I've got loads of your original layout artwork folders from the days of Filmation. I know that'll probably scare you, it's just loads of...
Say that again?
You know when
you have
doing,
what?
Layout folders.
Yeah.
I've got all your signature everywhere, so... Just from, your days of Filmation.
Those actually show up for sale?
I've still got them. I'm the sad guy.
Where did you get those from?
Oh, various galleries and stuff. But it's got like your signature, loser cause, and whoever was directing it.
Wow.
Scary stuff, I know.
It is scary, yeah.
It was, I have no memory of this time. I'm going to ask you about episode 2 later.
Any particular side?
You would only know how many Master Universe figures I have.
Let me see that.
How you doing?
I'm good. Good. How about you? Everything good? You
miss this?
Oh, I miss going.
Yeah.
I don't miss. I did enjoy this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't help it. I mean, these guys know more about you than you know about you.
I know. They're coming back and reciting personal details. So
Bruce?
Hey Lou, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You having fun?
Yeah, so far, not bad.
There you go, David.
So much.
Hi, what's your name?
Well,
Raphael? With an M or PA?
Freedom Force. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. Oh my goodness.
Thank you all very much.
Absolutely enjoy. It's really great.
Caesar from Orange County.
What did you like about the cartoon show?
I just liked that it was dark. It was it had barbarian, sci-fi, just everything in general.
Who is your favorite character?
Skeletor, just because he's a bad guy. I have a thing for bad guys, I guess.
All right, cool. And I guess even though you like Skeletor, you actually are closer to He-Man in one sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is that?
I got a tattoo of the actual new He-Man. I don't know if you can
All
see
right,
it.
hold on. Let's get that up. There you go. Now that looks like an Emiliano piece of art, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's a piece of Emiliano. Are you going to get him to sign your arm?
Sure, if you want.
So, Emiliano, we have something to show you here. Take a look.
Yes, this is your artwork.
That's great.
Oh,
that's great.
What do you think?
It's great. It's awesome.
Carlo from Los Angeles.
What's your favorite characters on the show?
I had several, but in a nutshell, Skeletor, Orko, favorite. I love Skeletor. I love Skeletor first season. Very mean, very ruthless. That's what got me into He-Man. I love villains to rule, but I like them to be conquered as well.
What about Orko?
Orko, I loved him. I love his goofiness. I loved his. A lot of people, he gets a bad rap, but he was different. I mean, it was something. I mean, it was something, at least as far as a kid-wise. Even as a kid, as I liked it, but me liking Skeletor's more adult guy. But Orko just gives you the kid in you, brings out more kid in you. So that's what I liked about him more.
This is Erica Scheimer. She was the voice director for season 2 and many voices on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and She-Ra. And Lou's daughter. And then right next to her is Lou Scheimer, a man who probably doesn't need any introduction in here, does he? Next to him is Tom Cito. He was one of the animators and storyboard artists, and he has had some incredible stories to tell us for the upcoming DVD documentary. So Tom Cito, one of the artists behind it. I'm only going to say this last name once. The rest of the time he'll be referred to as Tom T, which is what he generally goes by. This is Tom Tataronovitz. He is also a animator behind He-Man. He was a storyboard artist. He directed several episodes, and he told us some stories that are great that will be on the DVD and a few that we just can't use because boy, he told us some good stories. So here's Tom T. And next to him is Jeff Hain, who is one of the directors at BCI Eclipse. And we'll let him tell you exactly what his role in bringing He-Man to DVD was. But trust me, you owe him a big round of applause.
I literally started at Filmation the week that He-Man hit the air. So, it was an incredibly exciting time, and it just swept me up. I wasn't involved in the making of the show until the second season. It just was an incredible thing to be part of. And since I came in for the second season, you don't hear any of the voices I do until the second season. Queen Angela is one of them that I definitely remember. We are talking about something that's 20 odd years ago, so I don't have massive memories about those things. And I also got to do some of the voiceover directing for the second season of the He-Man, which was a lot of fun working with all the actors. And actually got to produce a music video. And that's going to be a goodie in one of these packages of DVDs. So you'll get a chance to see that, which was really just the most fun I had.
And I remember like leaning over to Don and saying, "Now come on, really, the name of the show isn't really He-Man, right? That's like a temp title. The real name is like Ragnar, Son of Stone, or Karnak, or some name, antediluvian guttural utterance or something." And they said, "No, it's really He-Man. That's the name of the show." Like, oh, okay. But I had a good time doing it. So.
I went in and took the animation test, and I went in and took the storyboard test. So of course I got hired as a model designer. and so they brought me in, and I was working on the rotoscope stuff, a lot of the stock system, doing the keys on that, on Tila and He-Man, because I was good at muscles and pretty girls and stuff like that. And then I designed characters like Driel, was that her name? Driel. And stuff like that. And then I went into storyboard and started on a beastly sideshow. And Filmation was probably overall, I would have to say, the best gig I've ever had in my career as far as what it was like working there. I mean, we weren't there thinking we were making high art or anything. We were there to do the best possible show we could do under whatever the conditions. And it was a good environment. We were there because Lou wanted us there. And that was a very palpable feeling. And I'm not here to preach for Lou or hope he wins a Nobel Prize or anything. But it made for a really great environment. And so we've all really tried to do a good job on the show. I mean, you know, we'd look at each other and go, okay, we'd have actual arguments in the storyboard corridors about whether He-Man could really throw the planet Eternia out of orbit or not. And we have to look at each other and go, what are we saying? You know, but still, we really tried to do a good show. And a lot of people that went on to make names like Tom and different people, Barry Caldwell in the business, started out there. And it was a real good training ground, which is very sorely needed in animation right now, and simply isn't around. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good long run. And you know, I'm glad to call Lou a friend.
I actually got involved with He-Man about 22 years ago when it was first on television, and I choreographed a dance to the theme song. And then 22 years later, I was fortunate enough to be working for BCI and for a group of people that are very, very innovative in their thinking about DVD and what television shows and movies should be brought to DVD. And they allowed me to acquire this property for DVD distribution.
My favorite character is Orko. I just got the biggest kick out of Orko, and directing Daddy do the voice was quite a hoot. So that's my favorite character.
My favorite character was Orko because it was easy to animate. He used the same stock.
I was always trying to give Battle Cat as much dialogue as possible. I know how tough it is to do well, kids, remember you gotta keep the window open for your dog.
I don't know how you can beat Skeletor. Did a monumental job of high camp on that. It was really fun to listen to. It was just good. Who would think something named Skeletor could be an inspired performance, but I really thought it was.
My favorite part of the show, I guess, instead of a character, would be whenever He-Man was riding Battle Cat. That's my favorite. So Battle Cat and He-Man combined.
On average, how much did it cost to produce one episode of He-Man?
I can tell you what it cost us to do the first 65. Spend $18 million. If you could figure out what it cost per week. I tried to do it the other day, and my math wasn't good enough. It's about $300,000 a half hour, which was a lot of money back then. It was a lot of money now, but compared to what the shows cost now, not so much.
I'm wondering what your greatest unfulfilled ambition in working on He-Man was, if there was a story or a scene or a character that you wanted to work with or make but could not.
We were all sitting around one day kicking around various scenarios, and Bob wanted to do an episode called The Day Nothing Happened. It's like Skeletor's on vacation. And it's like King Randor and Queen Marlena are like going over the budget for Eternia for the They haunted it, you know. Orko's reading a comic book, you know. Adam's asleep under the tree. Man-at-Arms is working on the transmission of the Wind Raider. And just like next thing you know, 20 minutes go by.
And he got paid for doing that.
Could you give us a behind-the-scenes look in avoiding the inconsistencies in a cartoon? So, for example, in one episode, maybe He-Man can throw a planet out of orbit, but yet in another, when an octopus is holding him, he can't quite get out.
We never had problems like that.
Behind-the-scenes look at how do you? I mean, obviously it's difficult when you have 130 episodes to avoid all of them, but what kind of effort goes into avoiding as many as you can?
You mean, how did we manage to excel at inconsistency? Writers.
And the guy who was really responsible for that more than I read all the scripts, but there's a man who's no longer with us who died about 10 years ago, Arthur Nadell, who was a story editor. And Arthur was a superbly talented, lovely man with a great conscience. And he worked very, very, very hard. He loved the show. He was basically a live-action director, and I had known him for many years. And it's actually about the first animation I ever worked on.
Yeah. Nobody was really trying to get away with anything, because we knew what the place was about. You know, so, and if we did Arthur, like Lou said, was kind of like Yoda or something, he wouldn't let you get away with anything. I can't remember who we talked to. One time we had to go into his office, and we're trying to make a point with him about something. And what was his quote? It was like, I didn't bring you in here to argue. I brought you in here to tell you what you're going to do. And but that was good advice, because...
And he went on strike.
because we were probably trying to push it. I mean, Bob Forward and I were always trying to do a show where somebody got killed, because we wanted to win an Emmy. And we figured that if somebody dies in the show, you get an Emmy. And so we kept trying to do that. And he wouldn't let us do it. And in hindsight, he was right.
Wait a minute, I just have to ask this young man one question. What are the first words you ever said to your parents?
I believe they were, I have the power.
Thank you.
I found that out.
We used to have a psychologist on staff too who would give us notes about some of the stuff we would do. And I remember I had a show once where He-Man was being attacked by some monster, I forgot what. And he pulls a tree out of the ground and beats him over the head with it. And I got this note from the doctor saying, He-Man cannot kill a tree. I said, okay, the tree is dead on the ground and He-Man's recycling by utilizing it to beat him on the head.
Yeah, we had to make sure that we didn't pull it up by the roots.
That's right. And we had to use a dead tree that was already on the ground. So.
How did it die? Oh, I don't know.
A little nervous here, guys, but talked to Lou and Erica yesterday. Just what do you want? I flew out from Tennessee just for this. This was it. Nothing else at this con means anything. So thanks for everybody that's here. And I'll just make a quick question: the favorite episode for everybody. I thought somebody would already ask that, but
I would have to say The Problem with Power, I guess, because it came up with the story idea. But that was the one where Forward and I were trying to kill somebody again. And but it was kind of a cool one. It pushed it, and it was neat that we could get a story that even though we didn't really get to kill somebody in it, we were allowed to push a story that was different than that. It wasn't just do a story about Skeletor sending Beastman out to steal something or something like that. So that would be my favorite story.
I like the Eagle Scene because it was fun to work on. I did a lot of animation. I animated most of the Eagle Scene, a lot of the key scenes, and I got to kill him, when he's dying and leaves are falling off him. I think it's autumn or something. I don't know. And he's keeling over. So as an animating actor, it was fun to get a death scene to do. Just in terms of on a different level, just for silliness, I like The Greatest Show on Eternia. Just because it was like a circus. It's just a weird idea for it with an elephant with two tusks and two trunks. And there was this one stock we used to use, which is reuse scenes. I think it was stock 16, which is He-Man going like this. And I tried to see how many times I could put it in one show. Just to see how far it would go.
You got a bonus. Mine was the one where Prince Adam, and I think we talked about this yesterday, was trying to find out how his father really felt about him, because his father really liked He-Man and respected I thought it was very touching.
And on that same note, mine would be where Tila learned her identity as a sorceress and that unveiling of all that. I found that incredibly touching.
Actually, I thought a pretty good story, and I didn't even work on it, was, well, that's why it was good, I think it's the first one Forward Road. It's when you went into the Queen's, where she was like an astronaut or something.
Oh, yeah, she was an astronaut.
Yeah. And what was cool about that is it's one of those things kind of like Trouble with Tribbles, where you take something that's just way out of the norm of the series and explore a character that almost nobody else ever paid any attention to. I thought that was really a cool take on it for that, you know, like to actually study that character over the other ones.
The question I had is in the beginning of the opening credits of every He-Man episode, we see Prince Adam in the shadows, and then he comes forward. He comes into light, and his head is angled up towards the ceiling. I was wondering, this always bugged me when I was a kid. What the heck is he looking at?
I have no idea. I'll never be able to watch it without thinking about it.
That's another character too. I used to like to put a lot of dialogue under his Merman because it would be horrible.
That was all. He could talk underwater.
It was very funny.
Yeah. It was funny to get him when he was doing the
He'd go right from Skeletor to Merman.
And between the Cringer and doing all the purring sounds and then being underwater. Blah, 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 blah. It was great.
I know like John Irwin did voices for Archie's, which was Filmation, and then Alan also did in the Mighty Mouse Popular Adventure Hour. Did you guys know that Alan was the voice for Skeletor? I mean, how did you guys pick John Irwin to do He-Man? I mean, was there a process that you guys went through?
Just knew that.
Well, we used to audition. In fact, I went to John Irwin and asked him if he would do He-Man. He said, I can't do He-Man. He said, I did Reggie Mantle on the Archie show. I said, no one will believe me. But he was a terrific actor. And I was really more concerned with Prince Adam than I was with He-Man.
Was there ever a plan to definitively wrap the series up? Have
No.
a definitive ending like that?
No.
It was going to go on forever.
We used to have actually one of the chiefs was your layout guys.
One to sell. One to sell.
Oh, and that's all. He-Man. What did I make it? Oh, okay. That's wiggle, let's lose.
Any of He-Man's other enemies learned your secret, they would not rest until they had destroyed you or the ones you love.
My name's Beth Parsley, and I'm from Escondido, San Diego. I've been wanting to be She-Ra at the convention for more than 5 years, and today I actually, got off my butt and made the costume.
Albert.
So it's not for the contest; it's just for me.
Oh, cool.
But I'll enter the contest.
Good. And so you made the costume all yourself?
Yeah, every bit of it.
I'm Brad Linford. This is my son, Ben.
Here you go. Now give that to your dad because it's pretty heavy. You like that? Tom Tedderonowitz, Tom Cito,
Wrong way.
She-Ra. Tom Tedderonowitz, Tom Cito, and She-Ra, Princess of Power. You're the winner of our adult costume contest. That is autographed by Lou Scheimer.
Ben, look at the cameras. They're wanting you to be on TV.
Hi.
Can you wave? I saw you on the Oh, yeah? Animator on it?
Yes. Yeah, animator storyboard.
I have the power, now so can you. Collect He-Man in the Masters Universe 10 Best Episodes Collector's Edition in stores today.
Thank you. Anywhere you want.
Thank you.
I get to watch these in English till they release them with the new toys. I actually watched them all in German when I grew up in Switzerland. Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. You want Raymond on there or just the name?
I'll be seeing you very soon. Bye now.
So my first words were pretty much, I would run around screaming, I have the power, I have the power, I have the power. You know, aggravate my brothers and sisters to no end. My dad thought it was cute. My mom did. Just took that sword everywhere with me, like Linus in his blanket.
I have the power.
I have the power!
Oh, come on, man. Skeletor has the power.
I have the power.
I have the power.
For the honor of Grayskull.
I have the power.
I have the power!
I have the power.
I have the power!
I have the power.
I have the power!
I have the power. I have the power.
All right.
He has the power.
I have the power.
I have the power. Oh, by the power of Grayskull.
What's your name? What is that you're holding? Are you holding He-Man's sword? Can you tell me who has the power? Do you have the power? Oh, you got to, is there a button to press on that? Can you give me your best He-Man sword pose? Can you lift the sword up? Oh, look at your dad.
Say, I have the power. Hold the sword up and say, I have the power. Say it. Say, I have the power.